Hi, I'm Marjorie, and I work here at the Tilted Kiln. This is our little pottery shop and paint and pottery store. So if you come over here, you can see we have a lot of cool pieces for our painted pottery. You basically can pick anything from figurines to banks to over here we have pieces that are plates and cups and mugs that you can paint yourself. You can come in anytime that we're open and just find a piece, come sit down and paint and have fun. We have a large suite of colors to choose from. All these fun tiles. You can use the colors as they are. You can mix and match and make your own custom colors. When you're finished, we load them up in the kiln, we fire them up, and in about a week, they're ready for you to come pick up your awesome creations. And then if you come over here, this is actually our full potter studio. So in addition to having a painting potter studio, we actually have a full working potter studio with wheels, with hand building tables, with tools, with plaster, all sorts of equipment, everything that you need to kind of just create pottery. In this space, we have a lot of regulars that come in, people who already know how to do this. You can come in, you can get a day pass, you can do a monthly membership. But if you're not familiar with the pottery process, we actually also do classes. So we have classes all throughout the week. Usually sometimes in the morning, sometimes in the evening. We do them over here in our classroom. We have beginning pottery classes, and then we have hand building classes, and basically people get to come in here and learn how to do pottery. So most of our classes consist around throwing on the wheel. That's the thing that most people are interested in. They love to just like learn how to do this. We also have, if you are not sure if you want to learn how to do this, we have a class called the Give It a Whirl. It's a really fun, just 2-hour, no committal, come in, fun date night, fun family night. You come in and for 2 hours, you get dirty, you play in the mud, and you make a pot. And then when you're finished, you get to pick out some colors, and then we do everything else for you. We clean up the bottom, we put your name on it, we dip it in the colors that you want, and then 3 or 4 weeks later, you come back and you pick up your cute little creation that you made in our little Give It a Whirl. So that one is really simple. It's just 2 hours, and you just make some fun stuff.
So I'm just making a little succulent pot here. I have a square base, and I'm gonna put out some sides so it's flaring out just a little. It doesn't need to be super deep, and then once I'm done, I'll poke some holes in the bottom for some good drainage. With this clay, this is like medium hardness, so I want to flatten it out, right? So I have the same thickness as this. I'll just throw it on the table a few times, and so you see as it's spreading out, and we'll go out, and then once it's all ready, I'll cut out the shape I want, and then basically glue it together with this stuff, which is called slip. It's just like a runnier version of the clay. So what I'll do, I'll score this, so it's all like textured, right? I'll cut out the shape that I want, and then I'll make sure this is scored as well. Glue it together with some of this slip stuff. Now this isn't exact, but and then once I have it on here, it will like stick together, right? And then I can put other pieces on the side to keep it together. This is a wedging. Huh? It just gets all the air out of the clay. So when you're working on it, air bubbles in the clay can create inconsistencies. So it just squishes all the air bubbles out.
So this is the Tilted Kiln's private mug collection. Joe and Emily Bott, the owners of the Tilted Kiln, they actually collect these mugs all across the country when they go to conventions or when they have other visiting potters come to our ClayCon West convention that we have here over Martin Luther King Jr. Weekend. We have student work here and professional work and local potters, just all kinds of different mugs. It has to be a mug. That's kind of just the only stipulation for this particular mug ball to get on the wall. It has to be a mug. Other than that, this is a fabulous collection. It's one of the things that people come in and visit to see us. If you want to buy pottery, you can actually come into our tiny little gallery. It's an awesome small space. That we have a lot of local potters work here. A lot of them are right here made in the studio. Some of them are from other potters that are just around southern Utah. We also have our mug collection that you can buy mugs from if you're interested as well. And if you're wanting to learn how to make some of these cool things, you can check out our classes online at thetiltedkiln.com. You can see what our schedules are so that you can come and play in some clay and make some fabulous projects yourself. So what we usually do is we'll sign you up for a class. We have what's called a general throwing class. It's 4 weeks long. You get to come in and you learn all the basics of pottery. So there's a lot of steps before you get from learning how to throw a little tiny piece to learning how to throw a nice, beautiful vase. And we'll go through those steps. We'll go through how to wedge your clay and prep your clay. We'll go over how to actually throw your clay, how to trim your clay after it's a little bit dry, and then the finishing spots of like how to glaze your clay and finish off your pot. And then as you practice and get better, you can come back and take other more advanced wheel throwing with us to learn how to finite your movements to make things even nicer and nicer as you go along. Because like anything, it's a skill you gotta learn over time. To get to this point, it takes quite, a couple years. But if you fall in love with the clay, it's well worth it. It's a very satisfying, very therapeutic hobby. It's very satisfying and therapeutic. Like, I do it for a living. I absolutely love it. I can't think of anything better to do than to get my hands in the mud and throw some clay and make something beautiful.